Hey, welcome back. This is the Raz with Can We Talk, and I'm in the early stages of building a channel. So right now, I'm the only one talking. But hopefully, with perseverance, it will work into Can We Talk. I'll work into interviewing people. I do have one interview lined up right now. We just have to coordinate our schedules. And today, I'm going to talk about love. Um, Now, I am not a man of the cloth. I am not someone that considers theirself an expert in scripture. This is the things I was taught and my interpretation. So, let's go on. So, love. Love thy God and have no other God before the great I am that I am, my God. To love my neighbor as I love myself. And I'm, just summing up the meat of the two greatest commandments, which are the first commandment. Now, you look at the world today and see how much love that you see. If you watch the news, you don't see that much love. But when you look at your daughter, your son, your grandson, your granddaughter, and their innocence on how they look back at you, that's love right there. We also have to remember that, you know, God gave us this world and we are stewards of this world. We are to take care of the planet, the animals, and each other. God created each animal for a specific purpose. I'm not crazy about ants at the beach, but ants have a purpose at the beach. Just think of all the trash that we humans just discard, and if it was never cleaned up by these ants. Just think of, just our trash. We look at the rodents, how the rodents follow man because man is very irresponsible. The seagulls, Seagulls are now found in Midland America when there's no sea, but there are garbage dumps. So, once again, God knew how reckless man would be and that these animals would still be able to flourish. And you look at Los Angeles, that's where I'm from, how we have a federal organization that will sit outside a courtroom, outside a courthouse, where most likely they went and they looked at these courtrooms and checked the names on the rosters, or these people that were going for their hearings for their indoctrination into the United States to become citizens. But these ICE agents waited in bushes to, in essence, ambush these people that weren't currently citizens, but they were in the process. So, due process, which is part of our Constitution, that was part of it. Where is the love there? There is no love. These people are escaping their countries because of persecution, because of just bad economic situation. And we have to have faith in our branches that we put in charge in venting these people to see, are they worthy? Would they make a good candidate for citizenship? But we have to let the process play out. So a president sicking this federal group on people, there is no love there. And people that support this president, where they can see he has no legiancy to anyone. He wants to strip the school board. where you now have illiterate children, which can be easily manipulated. There's no love there. He wants to stop SNAP. Women that need these monies, these food allocations to support their family. Yes, there is abuse. There's abuse in every system. If we looked at the abuse in our government, we'd probably balance the deficit. These billionaires, if we just had them pay 10% what is due, we would balance the deficit. But going back to love, we have to do better with taking care of the animals, making sure, you know, their conditions are proper. The animals in the wild that need to be protected are protected. Love for thy neighbor. It's interesting how people can come together when the government is trying to take something from them, but cohabitating, they don't have any love for each other. But when the government does something, they can stand together. And that's what the government doesn't want, us to stand together, because then we can show up and vote and we can make a difference, because we'll put the politicians in office that need to be. So I want us to actually be able to love the person that is next to us. Now, when this scripture was written was a very long time ago, and society has changed, and there are some people that do not care for people that have alternate lifestyle, to put it mildly. Now, they're people. They're people just like the white man, the black man, the yellow man, you know, the trans man, the gay man. They're still people. And God wanted us to love one another. Now, I'm not saying you have to accept that lifestyle, but you have to acknowledge that God made that life. God made that life possible to be here. And maybe that life being here is a test to you and your beliefs. Will you see the God in them, regardless on how they dress, regardless on the words that come out of their mouth? There are some vile people in this world, but we need to pray for those people, because God still has them here. And if you have so much hatred for that person, are you saying that God made a mistake? Think about that. If you can't pray for that person that they change and fall in line with the scripture, are you saying that God made a mistake? And if you are, who the hell are you to say that? Who are you to challenge God? This is scripture. That's what I believe in. That's what I follow. People that teach, they have to teach scripture, because those are the words of God. God does not make mistakes. God is perfect. Man is not. And that's something that we really have to understand. With Donald Trump, with all this hatred that he has for his shortcomings as a person, attacks people that are trying to do better, that are trying to do the right thing. The guy selling street tacos, he may be illegal. I don't know. I'm not law enforcement. I'm not the food inspector. All I know, I've had some great tasting tacos, like I said before, from the street vendor. The fresh fruit from the street vendor. These are people that are trying to feed their families. These are people that fled their country for a better way of life. How many times, and this is a question I ask myself, how is that guy that sells street tacos or sells fruit, How are they driving a new vehicle? They're not in the fraud business. They actually pay taxes. They're actually law-abiding citizens. So if Trump was smart, he would try to get more taxpayers, people that voluntarily wanted to do the right thing, as his buddies, the billionaires, choose to, I don't want to pay taxes, even though they can afford to pay taxes, but I don't want to pay taxes. So once again, going back to love, see how we treat each other. People standing in a welfare line will sit and communicate amongst each other. They don't care whether they're black, white, Hispanic, Asian. They will sit there and talk. Why? What do they all have in common? They all need money. They need help. But see, people by nature care for people. And we really need to understand love. That times change, but love remains the same. We have to love God, love the planet, love people. And like that old song says, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. Just a little love goes a long way. You know, I just want people to think about that word love. Since I've been in the Philippines, the Filipino people show me mad, crazy love. Love that I wish I had back in my home country. But Filipinos, they like foreigners, and they will take a foreigner and treat them like family. My in-laws, oh, great people. I mean, this last hospital thing, they helped me out. It made me want to cry. It really touched my heart. And think about that today. How many hearts have you touched? It doesn't have to be a lot. A smile, a sincere, how is your day, or how are you doing, goes a long way. We're getting up there in age, and it makes me feel good when someone acknowledges me. And that's where the love is. And just keep it simple. Stay scripture. Love God. Love your neighbor. Love thine enemy. You pray for your enemy, because there's going to be a line of people that don't like each one of us. But that's okay. If we are trying to do the right thing and be a good person, that line shouldn't be that long. And I feel for the law enforcement that is told to go out there and do certain things to get a certain reaction from people, to cause a negative reaction. They have jobs. They really may not believe in what they're doing, but they're following orders. And I pray that who's ever giving those orders, gives orders that actually protect and help people. But at the end of the day, they do have jobs. And, if they do something wrong, I can pray for them, and it's up to God to forgive them. We as people have to remember that our job is not to judge. Judgment belongs to God. Association, affiliation, that is our choice. But judgment belongs to God. We can't judge other people's lifestyles. If they treat us right, if they are trying to do right and help others and reach out, that's all I can ask from them, because they're trying to be a good person. I'm not perfect, but I do try to be a good person. And, love. Love is what the world needs. You know, there's a lot of hungry people. There's a lot of sick people. But if we love people and care about people, we can correct these problems together if we stand on love. And that's my message for today. You know, love one another. Love God. Love your family. Love yourself. Love your friends and neighbors. Okay? This is Raz with Can We Talk? And please support my channel as I build it on YouTube, Raz at Can We Talk. And you can email me directly at erasbury@yahoo.com, all lowercase. Peace out and love.